Learn fast, change fast, and maintain drive. You do them three things and you can do anything. Not everything, anything. Now, this session is a super special session. Why? Because all change is ahead. The Big Friday finish is going to catapult you all forward. And before I share with you how, first of all, I'm going to be sharing some incredible insights today, some incredible lessons, specific lessons that can have an instant impact on both yourself and your business. Because last week I had the honor of being at BizX 2023. It was in London, and the lessons learned there will be shared today for you, all for your personal growth and your business growth. I'm going to be sharing lessons from Stephen Bartlett, Lord Sebastian Coe, Marcus Sheridan, Ranulph Fiennes, Phil M. Jones, James Muir, Brad Sugars, Mary Portas, because this session's about learning fast, taking the important stuff, changing fast, implementing and using that stuff, and maintaining your drive. Let's do this. Now, as we get into this, you can see there on screen, actually, if you were at BizX 2023 last week in London, I had integrity cleaning, Luke Murphy. What a guy. Congrats, award winner. Incredible human being. He's been on the Big Friday finish as well, as you all know. Do share your top takeaways, your learnings as we go through this. The first one's going to be Lord Sebastian Coe. So if you've got anything that you learned from Sebastian Coe that you want to share with people today, do type it in. I will acknowledge that. I will share your point out for everyone. And just remember this, folks. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. So everything that's floating around in your head is not a good thing for an entrepreneur or someone who's wanting to achieve success. It's got to be written down. That's why the power of writing goals is really important. So the power of sharing your learnings and insights and action points is really powerful when you write it down. Second of all, if it's not shared, it won't persist. So if it's not written down, it doesn't exist. It's too in your head. If it's not shared, it won't persist. And persistence is a high performance trait. We want to do something with this. So give us your learning points. Let's get it on screen first, Max. Let's see what we've got. We've got some core learning points here from you. First one is Lord Sebastian Coe. So what learning points did we get from Sebastian Coe? If you learned anything from Seb Coe yourself, please do share it in. That first one, let's get it back on screen, Max. Let's read this one out. Let's get it on screen. 7 years, double your business year on year. So check this out. There he is. Look at that beautiful picture of Seb Coe just over there. And 7 years, double your team year on year. So Seb Coe started with a team. I think he started with a team in his first year of about 70 people. All right. Not including the volunteers, 70 people. And he doubled this year on year. So let's just go with that. 70 turned into 150. 150, let's go this hand here, so it's on the other side of the screen. 150 turned into 300. 300 turned into 600 after 4 years. 600 turned into 1,200. I think it was about 1,500 there after 5 years, so it's more than doubled. 1,500 then turns into 3,000. 3,000 turns into 6,000 employees. And he shared that story, and that was a strategy for growth. He couldn't have done it. It would not be possible to achieve all of the Olympic gold medals that the UK team did. And remember, that man that you're seeing there on screen is the man behind the Olympic success in 2012. And one of the reasons how he did it is he made sure he doubled his team year on year over a 7-year period. Really inspirational. Just imagine that for a second. And that lesson is from someone else, and I'll give you the lesson on just imagine in a bit. Imagine your team in your business. Let's say you're at 10 employees now. Imagine in the next year you had to go to 20. And the year after you had to go to 40 and then 80. And that's going to be part of your strategy for growth. And that's what he shared. Max, what have we got coming in from people out and about? Anu, great share from Seb Coe. You'll be able to visualize. You have to be able to visualize winning. So someone else said it, Napoleon Hill, if you can't see it, if you can't see yourself achieving something, you won't, and believe you'll do it, you will not conceive it. It will not happen. You've got to be able to see see your route forward. Now, I think there is a caveat to that, by the way, because according to research, apparently 2% of people, 2 in 100, for whatever reason, psychologically, they can't visualize. You know, for the rest of us, 98%, we certainly can. And it's a really, really powerful mechanism for attracting success. So Anu Khanna, she's a rock star. She's in Coventry. Keep them coming through. Anu, what else have we got? Trust your people. Yeah, we had the next one, actually. Put our next point up, which was dream big as well, wasn't it? No, put our next point up, Max, the one that we prepared in advance. And let's go back to Mick in a second. Hire a world-class team. Go back to that other one. Hire a world-class team and get out of their way. So what did Mick Corrigan just say? Mick Corrigan's in Burnley. He's a big Burnley fan. Get Mick's point back up on screen there, Maximus. Trust your people. Get out of the way. Just write that down for an example. You're a leader in a business. If you own a business, you're a leader. You're an entrepreneur, you're a leader. What Seb Coe is saying to you right now is trust your people. Get out of their way. What changes need to happen for that? Just consider it for a second. Start reflecting on the point. It's a really good share, Mick. What else have we got coming in, Max? Get the next person's on. ActionCOACH North and South Somerset Dunks here. That's Duncan McKechnie, the legend. Dream, vision, purpose. Massive. Dream big. We had that point. You know, what's the alternative? Do something significant. Tony Robbins talks about that in his human needs, 6 human needs. Do something significant where it's contributing to something bigger and greater than yourself. Exactly what Lord Sebastian Coe did. And he changed. He brought the Olympics to the UK, and he achieved all of the medals that came with it. Luke Murphy, Lord Sebastian Coe, gather a team around you that believe in your vision. I learned that as well from a gentleman who worked for Seb Coe. So he was, it's called Matt Borden. He was the lead psychologist for English Institute of Sport during the 2012 Olympics, 2008 Olympics and 2012, lead psychologist. And he said, he'd give me some advice. He was my mentor for a number of years. It was Matt Borden. Incredible man. He can literally help anyone achieve amazing results. And he said, James, I'm going to give you, I'm going to share with you some things what the best performance directors in the world do, because there's only a few things that they do differently to everyone else. But these things that they do differently is the reason that they attract the success that they're having. And the sports that were attracting all of the success back then was cycling and rowing. So cycling and rowing. He says these are the two. This is it. This is what they do different. He says they have a vision, but they get everyone believing in the vision. That's the biggest thing they do differently to everyone, and that's the biggest reason why they achieve so much. They get everybody believing in that vision. And he says, then he followed it. Matt Borden said this, and I'm quoting him here. It doesn't even matter if the vision's right or wrong. It matters that everybody believes it. Your challenge as a leader, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, is to get everybody believing it. And guess what? Mark Borden was one of those 6,000 employees of Lord Sebastian Coe that you see on screen there. Massive, massive inspiration. Have we got any other points that's coming in on Lord Sebastian Coe, Max? Let's get them out there. Paul Atkinson, good to have you on the call today. Keep them coming in. Passion, detail, process. Paul, what's your business? Tell us what the business is. So we've got a little bit more on that. Let's get the next point off Anu. When you learn to articulate vision, mission, and values, you start to see the difference. Sorry, I've got to go around the corner to read the point. Thank you, Anu. Keep them coming in. Next one. Who's next? Julian Weeks. The key communication was that of vision. It all started with 3 people meeting in a pub. Beautiful, hey? So this is Seb Coe, just meeting in the pub. It all started with a vision. Smallest things. Look at that remarkable achievement. You know, now he's a lord. He is a lord. And that started from meeting in a pub. Take inspiration from that in your life. All of your success can come from the smallest, most insignificant thing that you can imagine, but it's not. It's significant. To do things differently, you've got to be brave. You certainly have. Courage is a big thing. Paul Atkinson, tell us your business. Where are you calling in from as well? Who's next? Who's next? Maximus. His purpose was to inspire people. I keep saying Maximus, don't I? It's from Gladiator, you see. Maximus does inspire. As a leader, make sure the team is aware they have some skin in the game. Yeah, make sure that everybody's got skin in the game. And remember those 6,000 employees, these were direct. These were not volunteers. On top of that, he had like 100,000 volunteers that he was managing. Incredible stuff. Incredible. I mean, look, Fantasy Dreams Reality. That's Rick 10. That's a pretty cool name, by the way, Rick. Rick 10. It's like 10 Hag. Fantasy Dreams Reality. Tell us what you mean on that. Go into a little bit more detail on another comment. Are there any other comments on Seb Core here? Have we got through it? We're moving on to the next. To have a world-class organization, we need world-class people working in our organization. Absolutely. He talks about extraordinary people. He was able to achieve extraordinary things, or the organization, because some of the people around him were just extraordinary. Who do you know in your life? Just think about that for a second. That you would say they are an extraordinary person. They're incredible. Who do you know in your life? And how can you bring them into your business? You might already have them extraordinary people in your business. Appreciate them. Thank them, recognize them for who they are, what they are, and the work ethic that they bring, because they're going to help you become a serial success. Thank you very much. Loads of great comments coming in. Let's move on. Who's next? Who's the next person? There he is, Phil M. Jones. We've got a number of points in here, a number of points to share with you. I want to hear your points as well. I mean, the guy that you're seeing there on screen, Phil, young, charismatic, is English, he lives in New York, and guess what? He has got the most downloaded audio sales book of all time. That's incredible. What did you learn from Phil M. Jones? Let's get our first learning point up there, Maximus. What was it? We've already had it here on screen. We'll get it back on second. What was the first one? Let's get there. It is the 2 types of people. You ready? Just ponder on this as we go through this. Those that resist change. Are you a type of person that resists change, or those that create a better future? So on your piece of paper that's in front of you now, put an arrow. In fact, put a line like this and put an arrow on both ends. So we've got like a polarizing arrow. We've got an arrow going there, an arrow going there, but it's one out arrow. So you can either be moving in that direction or that direction. Are you the type of person that resists change? Whereabouts are you on there? Are you a type of person that's there to create a better future? He articulated that message beautifully. And, you know, when you look at it like that, you've only got 2 options. Of course, it's very attractive to embrace that. I'm a person that is dedicated to creating a better future. And look, remember this, folks. Your future is as bright as you want it to be. It doesn't exist yet. That's your destiny. You're here to create it. You create it. And it starts in your mind. Because everything that you see in this world has been created twice. And this is not Phil M. Jones stuff. This is Napoleon Hill. First, it's been created in someone's imagination. And that someone right now is you. You create your future. You create a better place. So you're in charge of that. First of all, create in your mind. The second challenge is to create in reality. And if you want to know how to properly achieve that in 4 steps, it's called IVVM. Go and watch a video that I created on that Napoleon Hill did. Someone will share it in the chat box at some point during this session. Let's go for the next point. What have we got? Remember your 3-year-old self. Can you even remember your 3-year-old self? Apparently, I mean, he did talk about this, did Phil? And look, it's conceptual list. Apparently, we can't remember anything before we were 5, but some people can. Remember your 3-year-old self. Look at that next point. You would just ask what you want. Like directly and candid. We've all been ridiculously candid at one point of our life when we were 3. I want that. That's what I want. I want it. And it was very, very direct. And if we can articulate that point and be passionate about that, like the 3-year-old self, how do we bring that back into what we do and attracting great success? Amazing point that was shared there by Phil. Let's get some points from you guys. Max, who's up? Who've we got? Fear is a fertilizer of growth. Wow, great phrase, hey? That's Action Coach North and South Somerset. We don't have a name there. Let's keep them coming in. Let's see what's next. How open-minded would you be to? How open-minded? And he leaves this sentence. How open? So if you imagine if you're in a sales meeting. Thanks, Mick. Mick is Burnley, man. Imagine if you're in a sales meeting. And then you're asking, you use this as the start of your question. And you finish the question on whatever's relevant to your business. How open-minded would you be to? Now, of course, what you're attracting there is someone that's going to be open-minded about your service, your product, the success service or the product brings. What we got next? Keep them coming in thick and fast. Who have we got next? This is Kerry James. He's very intelligent, this Kerry. He's got a diploma. He's got an MBA. He's got a BSc honours. Kerry, curiosity, empathy, courage. He did talk about that triangle there, didn't he? Amazing. We need all 3 of them at play when we're selling. So let's go back to that. Curiosity. Bring curiosity. Empathy. Understand the person that you're with. And courage, apparently it's the mother of all traits for success. Courage. You've got to be prepared to go somewhere. Nice share, Kerry James. Who we got next? North and South Somerset again. Care about what those you care about care about. Bit of a tongue twister there, isn't it? You got to ponder that one for a second. Care about what those you care about care about. Be bothered about them. Again, that's empathy. Anu's back in. Phil M. Jones. It's not just the knowledge, rather the implementation of the knowledge that helps you to move forward. Keep them coming, Anu. Look at the smile on the picture as well. Beautiful. Action Coach Nell Obdebeck. Oh, she was cutting something. She was pushing. She was part of the furniture. She was a character, as she always is at BizX. So many great learnings from Phil. I have 3 double pages of notes. All right, Nell, share some then. Who's next? Share the big one that you're going to action. Just imagine. This is that once upon a time, isn't it? He's got a once upon a time, isn't? When you say just imagine, you're taking someone into the future. And you remember the books that you used to read when you were a children, or the stories that got told to you, or even if you've got children, that whole imagination is something that can really influence people. So when you're with people in that sales, just imagine, how would you feel if? And then you're taking someone into the future, and they're saying they would feel like that, but you cannot retrospectively feel anything. You can only feel emotions now. So when you say just imagine, you take someone into the future and you create a really positive environment. And guess what? You've got that emotion right now. Guess what? People, that's how sales are made. People buy an emotion. So incredible language. Phil is all about language, knowing exactly what to say. That's the title of his book. Next one, Maximus Decimus. Nell. And a great guy he was lucky enough to catch him for a chat afterwards. Nell, you just chatting with us now, gives you a learning point as well. She's too cool. Next one, Max. All right, I know. Motivation is motive in action. Yes. Look at the word motivation. You cut it in half. Go back to the Latin, the Latin origins of the word motivation. What's your motive for action? What is the reason to move? A big enough reason You've got to do something, and you can do anything. That was proved by Viktor Frankl, who survived 4 Nazi concentration camps, one of them being Auschwitz. You know, you want to get a little bit of understanding of motivation and a compelling reason to do something. He wrote a book, which is a fantastic book. It's called Man's Search for Meaning. It will play to your heart. You'll be a changed person off the back of it. And it will articulate the message there that Phil M. Jones puts across absolutely beautifully. Next point, Max. Have we got any more points? Have we got any more before we move it on? We can remember things that did not happen. Yes, we can. We can remember those things. We can create them up. Good point. Next point. Next point. Who have we got? Chris Marsden over in the Northwest in Manchester. Phil M. has got me conscious of the language I use and the questions I ask. Now I'm aware of it. I mean, that's what he does. He was incredible. So, you know, if that's what change that you all make off the back of the lessons that you've got from Phil, you are going to get more results. Have we got room for one more, Max? And then we'll kick it on to the next person. This is Sassy. Sassy, love the name. Start a conversation with, not sure if this is for you. Now, why does he use that? Because what it does, it almost takes this away from someone. And the feeling of loss that people have psychologically actually is more than the feeling of gain. It's a big thing. It's a big emotion. Not sure if this is for you. And then you say the point. But he uses the word but. Not often uses the word but. In that one, he does. We had that as one of our learning points as well. This really intrigues people. It does. It gets that curiosity. It's like, I'm not sure if it is for you, but this. All righty, let's move it on. Who have we got next? Who are we going to turn into, Max? Who are we going to turn into? Oh, look at her. Mary Portas. Let's change it to this arm. Oh, no, let's change it to this arm. Mary Portas. What an incredible human being. Just like, seriously, Mary Portas. One day, I aim to be as good as you, Mary Portas. That is she is a remarkable lady. She turned up on a motorbike. She is a rock star, and she is not afraid to say anything to anyone at any time. She is the walking, talking symbol of authenticity. Not just authenticity, doing good in this world. You know, being a decent human being. Anyone who sat and took the notes from Mary Portas, just like me, you cannot fail to be a better person after that. One day I aim to be as good as Mary Portas. And I will get behind all of the stuff that she was sharing in there. The kindness economy. Do the right thing. Don't even come and talk to me if you're not prepared to be a good person, a nice person, friendly to people, decent. Do the right thing. You know, we talked about motivation a second ago. There's 3 types of motivation. Might want to write these down on your notes in front of you. Vision and purpose. That's a reason to take action. Yeah, it's motivation. What's the reason, the motive for action? Second one is values and morals. So a reason to take action is I'm going to do this because I want to do it. That's the second one is values and morals. I'm going to do this because it's the right thing to do. Let that be one of your motivating factors. What's the right thing to do right now? And, you know, because we're in a kindness economy. You know, bullying is out. It's out. Anyone bullies now, you're sacked. We're in a kindness economy. Let's do the right thing. People are good. And let's bring out the best in people. What else have we got? Okay, give us your learning points on Mary Portas, folks. Give us your learning points. Think less of growth and more of profit, and do the right thing for the planet and people. You know, be less bothered about growth and be more bothered about profit, because profit is a real business. You know, and that's so true. There's a lot of there's a lot of impatience to grow. You know, there's that frustration when you're not growing. You know, if anything, flip it. Be impatient for profit. Be patient for growth. And patience is a really important aspect of growth in life. You know, patience is the way of the world. And again, you got that from Mary Portas. I want to know what your learning points were from Mary Portas. Because she got some incredible feat. Love her book's title, Work Like a Woman with a Smiley Face. Girl power, hey? What else have we got, Max? Follow your instincts. They know the way. Yes, follow your instincts. They know it. Action Coach Nell, love Mary's. Let risk and instinct be part of business. It brings out creativity. Remember, that's one of the glaring strengths is creativity. Keep them coming through. What else? We got Max. Wolf. That's Maximus. That's the guy on the pulse right now, by the way. The lad who poured her glass of water on stage was great. I wonder who that lad was. Halfway through, we came out. Max came out and poured the legend, Mary Portas, a glass of water. And no, Max is a legend. Kerry James, the essence of the Patagonia brand, connecting with nature to feed your soul. It's quite philanthropic or philosophical, is that. You know, it's true. Nature only grows when the environment is favorable. And part of your environment is your own spirit, your own thoughts and beliefs. You know, let's get all of that favorable. What else have we got? What else have we got? Learnings from Mary Portas. Ooh, the great Lucas Vigilante. Respect the planet first, then look for sustainable ways to grow without damaging it. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. We want to talk about sales and marketing? Well, let's talk about sustainability first. Do the right thing to the planet. And anyway, you know, and then there's various different laws on this planet that will start bringing you more and more success. So we've got to work on those areas. Are there any others before we move on to the next person, Maximus? Are there any more? All right, let's hit it. Let's hit it. Next person. Who have we got? Oh, look at him, Marcus Sheridan. Hands up if you know who Marcus Sheridan is. Incredible presenter, Mr. Charisma. You cannot fail but to have energy every single time that you are with Marcus Sheridan. We've got some core learning points that we want to share with you, and I want to hear what yours are too. Marcus Sheridan, he says this: become the most trusted in your space. And you build trust by talking positively about your competitors. You got this, folks. Talk positively about your competitors. And that's how you will build trust. So what's the alternative to that? Talking negatively about your competitors. Yeah, we want to go the other way. We want to talk positively about them, because you can see it if you start thinking and unfolding the ramifications of talking negatively. People don't like that. It's scarcity. It's almost jealousy can be perceived as. Desperation can come out. What else have we got on Marcus Sheridan? Address the doubts. So any doubts that come up, make them public. Literally list every single objection that you've ever had, whatever they are, and make them public as soon as possible. So address the doubts, because in what you're doing there is you're removing them. Now, a natural instinct can sometimes be on sales and marketing to avoid them, cover them up, but they're still there. When you address them, what happens is you begin to remove them. All right, what else have we got, Marcus? What else have we got coming in? If you learn anything from Marcus Sheridan, let's see what this is. Let them get to know you through video. He did something beautiful in video. Do all the work up front prior to meeting you. 80% of the decision is made prior to meeting you. So I did this earlier on this week. Faye Thompson. So he says, make a video. Yeah. So here we've got Faye Thompson. So make a video. And on the front of it, like when you start recording your video, this is the start of it. This was to the great Faye Thompson. So it's a video. Faye Thompson, I've got something here. This is going to be amazing for you and your business, blah, 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 blah. So send them a video, put the name on the front with a smiley face, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to watch it. It's incredible share. Let's see what we've got coming in from the audience. Let's see what we've got coming in from you guys. Nell, Marcus, love hearts in the eyes. We're all in the business of trust. Trust, trust, and trust. Become that authority that is a trustworthy authority in your space. Next one from Marcus. Cut the fluff. Talk about things that matter. Yeah, get to the point. If you can do it in a minute, don't take 10. Take 1 minute. Cut the fluff. Go. Again, it's been trustworthy. It's been credible. Being perceived as an expert. When someone cuts through the fluff and they get to the point, the impact on you, your experience is really, really strong. It's a really good point, Lucas. Doubts stops movement. So don't wait till they ask. If there's a doubt, it stops people moving forward. Marcus talks about people have got to feel two things at all times. They've got to feel progression and purpose. There's got to be purpose to your question. There's got to be a progressive nature of the conversation. If they're feeling progression, if they're feeling purpose, you're moving forwards. Doubts, stop that at all times. Kerry James, be a digital David in the land of Goliaths. There you go. There you go. What else have we got, Max? An ostrich burying its head in the sand is a total myth, but it's a great visual aid. He did share that on his presentation. A little bit of fun. A big picture of an ostrich burying its head in the sand. There you go. Anu, share your pricing and frequently asked questions on the website. Google will do the rest. Whew. Big fear there, isn't there, about putting your prices on your website? Well, if that's you, go read some of this man's stuff. Go pay attention to what Marcus Sheridan does. And by the way, we're sharing lesson after lesson after lesson, thick and fast today. If you only grab one of these, it will move you forward as long as you take action on it. Your challenge is to grab the right one. That's it. What do we got next? Buyers are 80% through the journey before you meet. Ooh, interesting, isn't it? It's like the sales cycle has really changed, especially post-COVID. So, like, even before they've met you the first time, they're 80% along the way because marketing has started way before the first meeting. You don't even know what they've done. Maybe you do. Maybe you're following Marx's stuff and your HubSpot has followed them and you know how many pages they've been on your website. You know what they've looked at. You know which questions they've got most insight from. You know where they've spent the most time. Next one, Marcus. Not Marcus, Maximus. Rick 10, so much energy, fantastic speaker, photos and videos in progress. Fantastic. Rick's already taking action on that. He's doing the photos. He's doing his videos. Be willing to talk about the things in your industry that those in your industry will not talk about, Julian Weeks. Perfect. Your opportunity is now. Your opportunity is now because this is not common knowledge. This is not common practice. Anything that you do now, almost certainly, you are going to be a front runner in your industry, folks. Trust that and go for it. Next point, Max. Sassy. Short videos are a great way to address and solve problems. Yes, they are. We've got room for one or two more. Let's see. We've got Amit is in. Amit is in London. If you want to become the voice of trust in your industry, 1, talk about. 2, sure. So talk about whatever it is that needs to be talked about. Show people and sell in a way that your competitors are not willing to do so. If you want to elaborate on any of those points, feel free to put it in the chat box so everybody can see. We cannot become the voice of trust by showing less of it. Oh, that's a blinding flash of the obvious, isn't it? Luke Murphy, positivity creates movement and momentum. Trust me, I know that. He is the walking, talking symbol of positivity and energy. All right, let's move it on. Who's next? Oh, James Muir. James Pure, this should be, because he's got a pure heart, a pure soul. American, Canadian, and he is he's so sincere in his approach to sales. So he's wrote the book, The Perfect Close. It is so simple, but it's selling with integrity, which is something that in the UK we wholeheartedly embrace. And this is the man, James Pure Muir. What have we got? What have we got on our learning points? Let's share a couple and let's get yours in the chat box. Maintain trust by matching your prospects' pace. Now, for a lot of you, this is a reminder. So especially if you're, let's say you're on a conversation on the phone with someone and they're speaking quite fast and it's a dynamic conversation. Let's say you've got your headset on, your earphones on, or whatever it is. So let's say you've got your headset on and you're listening in. A lot of people will walk around, which helps maintain that pace. And I learned this from some sales pros as well. Now, let's say you're speaking to someone and you're in a sales conversation, you're on the phone ahead of your next meeting, and they're speaking a little bit low and quiet. It's good to sit down. Even close your eyes if you're naturally a fast-paced speaker and you've got to adapt to that slow pace. But what that's going to do, it's going to elicit trust. Now, what I did say at the start of this might be a reminder, because that one there has been out a long time. It's just not common practice. Common sense, yes, not common practice. Next one, Max. What have we got? Want to get your lessons? Script your close for each prospect. That means write it down in advance, rehearse it so that you know exactly how you're going to close them before you close them. So it's a planning in its perfect form. We get loads of questions on closing all the time. You know, when you get to that close, a lot of people get that little spike of adrenaline or anxiety or nervousness or tension. You know, it gets a bit awkward at that aspect of the meeting when you're going for the close. But guess what? Prepare it way in advance. Have it written down. Know exactly how you're going to close that prospect. Make the close about them. Make it so personable. And look at the warmth of the gentleman that you see on screen there. Look at that smile. What have we got coming in from the audience, Max? Let's see. Nell. If you push faster than they're ready for, it feels like manipulation. That's what he said on the other point. So that's an addition to that point that we said about matching their pace. It builds trust. Now, if you go faster than them, it's creating this feeling of being manipulated. Who on here right now likes to feel manipulated? Not you, not me. Don't push faster than they're ready for. Next one, Max. Let's see what we got. Does it make sense for us too? So this is almost Phil M. Jones, sorry, S. So does it make sense for us too? Which is it's a segue. So that's a segue line. It's a really good line for whenever you're going off and closing and just tightening things up. Next point. What else have we got? Thanks, Mick. Luke. And by the way, Luke is incredible salesperson himself. He's done a big Friday finish. He's on this big Friday finish right now, sharing his learnings and insight. He's done this. One thing that came up in his big Friday finish was when he walked in a building and, you know, he's literally walk-ins, you know, classic sales. I'm going to walk in and meet someone and get the business. Yeah, I'll walk into the Shard and go and get that business. And he did that, by the way. And if you don't believe me, go and watch the big Friday finish that I interviewed him on. Work with integrity. He's even named his business Integrity Cleaning here. That's another big point that James Muir put across. He's a man of great goodwill, great integrity anyway. So as is Luke. He's named his business that. It's a big value of his. Next point. 2 simple closes. Does it make sense for us to finish the line yourself? Next close. What's a good next step for you? Because look, he always believed in closing the next step, not the end of it. Whatever the next step is in your process, that's what you close for. And say it in this warm manner with great integrity. Next point. What else have we got coming in? We've got room for one more. The perfect close model in 2 questions. Does it make sense? And what's a good next step then? So again, that's a re-articulation of Kerry's point. Thanks for summarizing that point. Who's next? Who's next, Max? Oh, look at him. There's going to be loads of points on this one. Wow, was this wisdom. Mr. Stephen Bartlett. He blew me away. He really did. He was articulate. He spoke from his heart. He spoke with wisdom, with clarity. Every single word was purposeful and intentional. With literally, you could literally listen to that and just go into any 1 minute window of that, and you're going to walk away with 2 or 3 things. So let's get those 2 or 3 things right now, what you can get from him. What did we get from Mr. Bartlett? Let's get a couple on screen. Let's get all of your comments, what you learned and not your gun action from Mr. Bartlett on the screen. Fail faster than your competition. Next one, fail faster than your competition. That's good. Failure is feedback. Feedback is knowledge. Knowledge isn't power. Power is implementation of knowledge. It's doing something with it. Power's not knowledge. It's doing it, using it, learning from it. Fail faster than your competition. He talks about reverse decisions, yeah? Sometimes you can make a decision and ponder on it and procrastinate on it. And I was talking to one of our action coaches, Andrew Qureshi, this week. He gave a great example of this. It's like someone he was working with was thinking about buying a classic car. And let's just say it was, I don't know, 35 grand. A classic car, you know, to have. Should I buy it? Should I not buy it? And guess what? He procrastinated and it got sold, and he missed the opportunity. But the learning point was this. He even sent his coach a message this week saying, oh my God, what I learned from Stephen Bartlett was this. A reverse decision is a decision that can be reversed. If you're thinking about buying the classic car or not buying the car, just buy it, because guess what? If you don't want it after a bit, sell it, because it's not going to lose any money. But if you don't buy it, you might lose it. You might lose your opportunity to own it. Now, and that's what the client sent Andrew, the coach, this week. It was like, that is reverse decision. And then this BFO, blinding flash of the obvious, was most decisions are reverse decisions. Just make them. Take them, go with it, because you can reverse out of a lot of them very easily. And it's knowing the ones that you can and knowing the ones that you can't, but you don't procrastinate on the ones that can be reversed. You sense it, you go. Next one. What's the next point? Let's go. Next point. I want to hear yours as well. Stephen Bartlett, lean into dissonance. Question and learn. Change your own algorithms. How you think about that. Next point. I've got another point, and then I want to hear yours. Look at this one. Have a delusional sense of positivity. What does that even mean? You know, people that are delusional, they lose themselves, don't they? They're like, they get, it just consumes them. It's almost denial. But no, have a delusional sense of positivity in your approach to your own success and moving forward. Now I want to hear some of yours. What have we got? What have we got, Max? Get these coming in. I want to hear yours. I want to share these out. Anu, using AI for digital marketing. Look, you know, you might not know that Stephen Bartlett has been doing his podcast for like 6 years. He's been working on all of these kind of things for 6 years. He shared on stage, you know, some of the AI that he's using in digital marketing. And, you know, I was speaking to an AI specialist at the event, after the event, and AI is the next thing. It's just the next thing. It's not something to scare people, because in 3, 4, 6 months, it will be accepted as the next thing. You know, like 3 years ago, there were lives like we're on a live now. And it was like, but now it's just accepted. And AI is exactly the same. ChatGPT, you know, is part of AI. I mean, scary for some people who are not using it, but in the future, it'll just be the accepted thing. It'll just be the next thing. Now he's using it incredibly, incredibly well. And if you're not, start paying attention to that. What else have we got coming in? Mick, keep experimenting, keep testing, keep measuring. You know, when you test and measure, what that empowers you with is a couple of things. One is objective decision making. Objectivity. And we've already talked about the reverse decision, but the test and measure, the numbers, absolutely gives you clarity. It gives you certainty. It gives you numbers. So keep experimenting with things. Get the numbers back. Test and measure it. Good point, Mick. What's next? North and South Somerset Dunks. Wise beyond his years. Fail faster. That's the big thing that Dunk got there. Duncan McKechnie. What else have we got coming in? Keep the points coming in. This is Stephen Bartlett. What is success to him? Success to him is this. And again, probably take inspiration from this point. So Kerry's, he's shown the question that was asked and the answer that he gave. Success for me is balance. Success for me is challenge. Success for me is a feeling that I'm moving forward on something that is worthwhile. Yeah, incredibly articulate speaker. So balance, challenge, and feeling that you're moving forward on something that is worthwhile. That is what he calls success. You know, not the super £1 million and the car and the house. None of that stuff. All of that balance, challenge, and feeling like you're moving forward on something worthwhile. What's next? We've got a few more points. Let's get a few more points in on Stephen Bartlett, and then we'll move it on. Love how enthusiastic he was about his regime. Always be yourself. He actually blew the sort of habits and disciplines out of the water. He called bullshit. Sorry for swearing, folks. He called a bit of like BS on some people that pretend they've got all of this routine. Now they might have routines, but you know, be authentic about your own routine. And actually, at the end of it, you be you. I did find some really positive correlation between what he was saying at that point and what Mary Portas was saying earlier on. And let's go, Natalie Jackson. Oh, that was Natalie Jackson. Let's go with the next one. Next one, Max. Jenny Burke. Love how honest and open he was. Took a lot of learning from him. Share some of those with us. Next point. We've got a few more that we can cover. Then we're on to the next. Celebrate the experiment, not the result. Celebrate it. Have fun with it. James Burke, the biggest one from Stephen, as Mick said, fail, test and measure, and double down on what works. Nice one, James Burke. We got Jenny Burke. We got James Burke. Let's go for the next one. Jenny again. I think you should organize me and Mary Portas for an afternoon lunch. She is an inspiration. Let's see what we can do, Jenny. Next. All right. We're in emotional society. Lead on emotion. All right. That's Stephen Bartlett. We've got to move on. Who's next? So Ranulph Fiennes. That will be the only time I'm calling him that name because he prefers to be called Ran. What a guy. If you weren't there, this guy got a standing ovation of over 1,300 people after a night out, late night in, drinking, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. He took people to a place of positivity, of inspiration, of motivation. He elicited this feeling inside of care, of love, of belonging, of dreaming big. And, you know, I was one of them at the end, hand on my heart, saluting him for all that he is. Unbelievable presentation. You know, I cannot describe what he did to a room. Let's see what we've got in here. Set goals, commit, focus, and do whatever it takes. Next point. Let's go these thick and fast. Use humor to get your point across and bring the audience with you. Now, if you were there in the room, you'd seen he took people with him. Keep next point coming in. What's the next point that we've got? Power is in the storytelling. We've got another point here. There's a few, right? Recruitment. Pay attention now, folks. If you are in business, if you are a recruiter, if you're employing, he did that. And let's acknowledge all that he is. He's the world's greatest living explorer, the world's greatest. That title was given to him by the Guinness Book of World Records. All right. So it's official. He's the world's greatest living explorer. And he needed to recruit a team to go to the Arctic, the Antarctic, all of this, you know, climbing Everest. He had to recruit a team. So he put an advert out to recruit. And The advert, they will not pay anyone for 5 years. For 5 years, this has got no pay. For the first 5 years, no pay. He put an advert out. He had almost 1,000 applications, too many, yeah. And he needed to get rid of more. So you can't go through 900 applications. So this is how he got the 900 applications to the top 2%. He introduced a task, and tasks are part of interview process in recruitment, yeah? So he says, make the task a game changer, the differentiator, the one that eliminates the 98%. Have you got that task in your business? This was his task. All right, you want to get to the next stage? You've got to become a certified SAS soldier. If you don't do that, you're not through. That soon took 98% out. That was his task on his interview. He took the 900 to the top 15. Now that was a manageable process. And boy, did he share more learnings on recruitment as well. What else have we got? I mean, he had another big lesson, actually, which was the golden rule. This was the golden rule, and we can apply this. I'll give us how we apply this in business. Write this golden rule down, by the way. This was his golden rule for how he approached making sure that he achieved it. Never pay anyone. Are you ready? Write down anything at any time. Never pay anyone anything at any time. That was the golden rule. That was the only golden rule that we had. Why? Because they didn't have the money. They didn't have the money. Everything needed to be sponsorship. We needed sponsors to be able to do this. We needed sponsors to fund that. We needed someone else to come in. So does anyone want any funding in the business? Of course you do. But this is a classic story of burning the boats. It's like, take the options away. This is our rule. We never pay anyone anything at any time, which forces us to be committed to getting the funding always in. We don't pay out, they pay in. And that was his golden rule. And that was why he was so successful on all of his expeditions. That's how he managed that business. We can do that. Burn the boats. Great golden rule. What's your golden rule? Say what's coming in from the audience. Let's get this. Mike Greenwood, Saran, an absolute legend, and the muscles there. And guess what? Mike Greenwood is coming next year. If you are not coming to BizX next year, you are coming to BizX next year right now. I don't know what else to say to you. Book your place now. There will be limited places. Book your place now. Is just incredible. We're riding on that crest of the wave of post event. Book your places now. Loads of people are booking. You can even book now and you can pay later. You can pay it like £60 a month to book your ticket for the next one. So definitely go and book now. And today's the last day. That's part of the reason I'm saying book now. It's the last day on the super early bird price. So get that done. What else have we got coming in from the audience? James Burke's storytelling masterclass. Humor, wittiness, self-deprecation. A man that was prepared and using the culture of the country. He was telling story after story after story, and the stories just sucked you in. And it was blended with humor, a little bit of self-deprecation, a little bit of deprecation on the UK, on our culture. But total warmth throughout. We don't call them rivals. We call them enemies. He did actually say, he was really direct on some points. He did actually say, forgot the point I was going to say. Oh, he did say, on that whole recruitment business, you better get your recruitment right because, where he was going, if he was taking someone that he's recruiting to the Antarctic, if he'd got the recruitment wrong and he brought up character flaws, you don't want something to emerge later on. If you've got any element of doubt and there's a character flaw that came up during the interview process, you don't do it. He says, because we're stuck. We can't do that. Because yes, we can fire them immediately and fast. But in the Antarctic, they can't get rid of them. Still there. And he told that story really well. But the point was, find out any character flaw that you're sensing early on. Don't go. Any doubts? Don't go. Great lesson. Next point. What else have we got from the audience here? So far, we're doing good. Work with people who get on with people. Nice point, Lucas. What else? What else? What else? Always watch out for the Norwegians. Yeah, always. He had a number of points that he brought that up. He kind of had to be there to get that point. Great point, Kerry James. Let's go for one more. Addressing the question through storytelling masterclass. Let's go for the next point. Who's next? We've got room for a couple more and then a big share at the end. So I'm going to share something very big, very important at the end of this moving forward. Let's get that on screen. That was Jenny, I believe. Let's get it. The man is incredible. The place was in silence. He was awestruck. His book is special. Dream big and follow your beliefs, whatever it takes. He did. He arrived at 7 a.m. in the morning to sign all of the books so that every single book was signed just for you. Incredible human being. Next is Brad Sugars. Let's get Brad Sugars on the screen. Let's get some of these powerful lessons. I'm going to go thick and fast now. Get your comments in. I probably won't go to them now just because of the timing. Be very intentional about the person that you want to become. Be extremely intentional and think double on it, double down on it. Go really deep on that. Who do you need to be to achieve remarkable results? Double your vision, double what you want to have. Who do you need to become? Get super, super clear on that. Next point from Brad. Let's get this. And then once you're clear on that vision, let's go back. That vision is far out there. Be super clear on who you got to become and then turn it into right now discipline. Focus on the default diary. Next point, Max. Focus on your diary today. Focus on your daily sheets. What am I going to achieve today? Write down what you're going to achieve tomorrow today. Get the daily stuff in place. And then we got 4 mums in a boat. 4 mums in a boat. What an inspirational story. Let's get our learning point on there. This is Nikki and Helen. It's Helen on the right of your screen. It's Nikki on the left of your screen. These 2 ladies, remarkable. They're 2 of the 4. They are 2 of the 4. What did we learn from them? Say yes, commit, and think. Why not me? These 2 ladies you see who are part of a 4 that have never rowed before. Shall we cross the Atlantic on a rowing boat? 4 of us, we've never rowed before. Let's say yes. Well, why not us? Why not be in the Guinness Book of World Records? If we can do this, James, if we can do this, everybody on the listening in right now, you can do this. Say yes. Why not me? Next point. What's the next point? 4 mums in a boat. Prepare yourself to cope with stressful situations. Clearly, they were crossing the Atlantic Oceans. You better prepare yourself to cope with these situations. You got to think about how to quiet your mind in the moment. When you are in that pressure situation, quiet your mind. Focus on breathing. Get an element of calmness. Incredible share. I got that point there. I got several of these points here from Rachel Woods here today. Big shout out to Rachel Woods for sharing some of these points as well. So I do have one more thing to share with you. I'm going to play a video first. I'm going to share the thing afterwards. Max, if you can play a real small video. Thank you very much. There you have it, folks. There you have it. Actually, you know what? Sadly and exciting at the same time, this is the last Big Friday finish, because the Big Friday finish is turning into the Business Excellence podcast. This will be released every single week. It's going to be bringing the world's best, like we've shared with you today. You can just register here if you've not already subscribed. This will be released on the 25th of May. It's a Thursday. There'll be 6 podcasts to start with, and every single week this will be released. There'll be a video that comes along with the podcast as well that you'll be able to watch in your own time on YouTube. And we're doing it big. We're doing this for you. It's all about 2 things: personal growth and business growth. We are committed to putting the world's best in your audience to you. So you're going to be able to find us on Apple Podcasts. You're going to be able to find us on Spotify Podcasts. Incredibly excited about this for all of us to make the change lasting, to make a difference. Subscribe now. Take a photograph of this as well. Share it with all of the people in your business, all of the people in your communities. We want them as subscribers as well, because this is all about personal growth and business growth. So yes, we're moving forward. We're taking advancement. There's a small gap between now and the 25th, and then we're going to be with you every single week. In the meantime, I'll continue to do lives like this on LinkedIn, on YouTube, anything that you want. You reach out to any of our Action Coach communities, and I'll put it on for you live and interactive as we speak. But as far as the Big Friday Finish goes, it's going to be all part of the Business Excellence podcast, which is all about business excellence, personal growth, and business growth. So I want to thank everybody so far for the journey. I'm looking forward to the journey ahead. Incredible to be part of this, and have a fantastic weekend. Share us any of the last insights in here. I'll stay on here until I've read everybody's comments out that you want to put in the chat box right now. I will do that till the bitter end. So put any of your key learning points, the takeaways, anything about the podcast, the Big Friday Finish, because we are going at bigger heights for you, for your business, for your life, to make a difference and make lasting change. Let's see what we've got coming in. Max, let's give us comment, the learning points, the action points, and I'll read them all out. And then it's weekend time. Max, get them on. I knew you can't explore any ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Beautiful phrase. Next one. 4 Mums in a Boat, amazing story. If you haven't read or listened to the book, please do so. Had all of my clients in tears, the total inspiration. Next point. I look forward to it, James, and so do I, Nell. Keep going. Keep them coming through, Max. That's brilliant news, Mr. Vigilante. We love you. Everyone loves you. Keep coming. Amazing. Great news, Anu. Keep brilliant news. Thank you very much, Rachel Woods and Luke. Looking forward to it. The Business Excellence Podcast. Thank you, Luke, for being part of all of this as well. Any other comments that come in? You'll see them in the comment section. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Oh, we've got Mike Greenwood there. You asked for exceptional people involved in my business. Myself, James Burke, Action Coach. Fantastic. Mike Greenwood, the legend. James, you've been a brilliant host of the Big Friday Finish. Thank you for all of the effort you've put into making it happen. And I'll continue to be part of everything that you see moving forward as well. I just love all this. Thanks, Lucas. Anything else that's coming in, feel free to put back up on screen. There's still some people viewing us. So look, this is live. This is how we roll here. Let's see what else. I'm going to open it up at my end as well. Some amazing, exciting things to come. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I think we've got it. Awesome news. Action Coach North Somerset. Well, look, go get them, team. Go get them. Implement those learnings. Learn fast. You've had that. Change fast. That's your challenge now. Implement those learnings and maintain your drive as you go. You can do anything. Not everything, anything. Do the important stuff. Make a difference. Do it properly. Over and out. Bye for now.